Welcome, fair people, welcome to sunny St. Albans, where the parks are green and lush and the water runs, the ducks do quack. I always say if it walks like a duck, talks like a duck, it's probably a duck. Anyway, welcome to St. Albans. Did you like your thumbnail? Do you like my pride straw that I do blow through? Yes, we have penetrated the pride movement. That's right. Especially since it's acquired a new triangle of colors. I don't know if you noticed that from the thumbnail, being embedded from the side. You'll see the TG pink, the vanilla ice cream, and the light blue as well. I almost feel sorry for the gay community who just want to be left to get on with their own preferences. They have been penetrated by those that seek to mutilate genitalia, to reverse XX and XY chromosomes into a biology and a new gender tribe for which there'll be multiple genders. That's right. Pretenders and genders, I say. Indeed, indeed. Well, instead of ask for, and I need to explain this, there'll be many watchers outside of the UK shores. In fact, many in the UK won't even know. It said ask for. I went and had my breakfast and there was this flag. And it was the old gay pride flag, which was now being injected with brown and black and everything else. And it said underneath, ask for Clive. And I went up to the young lady, and as I had my sourdough toast and scrambled eggs, and I said, so tell me, what is this ask for Clive all about? Now, she said in a silent voice, well, it's like if you come to the counter and ask for Clive, we secure you a safe space from homophobia and transphobia and hate. And I thought, isn't that magnificent? A safe space. Don't we all want a lovely safe space? Away from the threats of the world. In fact, I said, it's time we had the hashtag Ask for Francis. That's right. I am the provider of a safe space. A safe space for libertarians. A safe space for those that wish to cower and hide from the overarching totalitarianism, Bolshevik communism, and overreaching governments of all the world. I am the safe space provider. It's time to ask for Francis, hashtag ask for Francis, to be saved from fiat, fakery and fuckery, to be saved from the children sniffers that run around and read their teleprompters as they are told by the Khazarian mafia that runs them. It's time for a safe space. While they're telling you the greatest need is a safe space for somebody who's had his genitals mutilated so that he can pee in a weirder way, because we're all running after them and want to beat them for their poor mental challenges that they clearly face. I think the real safe space is for the citizens of the world against overreaching totalitarian government, fake bad money, and their tendencies to provoke world wars during these times, to cover the great Bretton Woods Mark II, Mark III rollover of the tertiary extracting fiat system, where money is borrowed into existence, requires ever-expanding money to pay the interest, and eventually leads in a great meltdown and our ownership of all the assets by the communists in chief. That is my opening gambit. Hashtag and retweet. Hit the like button now if you want your safe space from government. You want to escape. You want to call for John Galt. You want to Iron and Rand, and you want to get away. It reminds me of the Lenny Kravitz song. I just want to get away. I want to fly away. Yes, to Liberty Land. Ask for Francis. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you aren't already. Make sure you go always. So, where am I standing? Why is it significant? What am I going to tell you today? Well, before I transition to the history of the fall of the Roman Empire, as we stand here and see a remnant of a wall. That's right, this was Verulamium, based on the word ver, which is spring in Latin. You see, starting to learn Spanish may help you with something. But before I do that, we are having a meetup with our community members, and we've decided to open it up to YouTube friendly followers on the channel, free views, who can come and join us this Thursday, the 30th of June. You have to be in the UK, ideally in the southeast. It's going to be on the A1M, it's going to be on the M1, it's going to be on the M25. St Albans, the great town, now city, cathedral city town, and of course Roman town of great historical significance, will be the place where we will meet. We need from you, if you wish to come and attend, there's no charge at all, but you need to write an email to support@themarketsniper, support@themarketsniper.com, and say 4 things to us. How long have you been a follower? Yes. How long? It's okay if you just started yesterday. That's not a passing test. Don't need to lie. Which social media you are using that you are following us through, whether it be a Twitter handle or some other, your favorite social profile, so we can follow you back. And third question is, what is your favorite video? So what did you enjoy most hearing from us? Which did hit nail on the head for you, so that we know what to do more of? And the fourth one, what is the biggest question we can answer for you in these dystopian times where you need a safe space and time to ask for Francis? It looks like the pride flag, a little straw, but it has my spittle on the end. Ask for Francis, safe space from totalitarianism, safe space against overreaching government, and we study and discuss the fall of the Roman Empire. What else about St Albans that I'm going to talk to you about here? A little bit of history in a bag. This is your New World Geopolitical History channel, coming at you live and weird. That's right. What else happened in St Albans? Well, let me tell you, my American, my African, my Australian, my Canadian friends that all think this is a bit of a British la-di-da, let me tell you this: the Magna Carta, the basis for most of your constitutions. The first meeting was held by bishops and clergy and landsmen over here, right in this very town, St Albans. That was complaints about the then King John, that led to the most foundational freedom and liberty document ever written. That's right. The Magna Carta is the forerunner of true human rights, real human rights, not that you get out of the EU and all the gobbledygook and the health and safety. No, real human rights. The fact that every man has a right to a trial and must be found guilty by jury. The king can't just say, off with his goddamn head, I don't like the look of him, I think he's guilty. The rights to property, so many key elements that gave human, individual, non-monarchy a real quality of life and a chance and a basis upon which they could expect to live if they lived within the common laws of the land, without summary butchery, without summary confiscation, without all forms of fear and loathing of the great overreaching, money-hungry monarchy of the day. And it all started here in this town. What else, apart from being a Roman town, and the spring, which is Ver? We have many spa towns as well in Britain, as you'll know, Leamington and Bath, and various others. This is a spring, not quite the same. What else happened in St Albans? In fact, my dear friends, the English flag, which is known to be white with a red cross, which comes very much from the mythological Saint George who slayed a dragon. Now, you should be working with me on this one and think a little bit of bullshit. You know, the word myth is part of the clue. In actual fact, that is indeed myth, and the real person who lived, who was the first martyr of a later to become Christian Britain. You have to understand the Romans were particularly brutal in Britain towards this new faith that was brought in to the British Isles by traders, the Christianity faith as it came from the descendants of the disciples from the Middle East. It was brought in. And in fact, Saint Alban himself was pagan, and saw a priest that was running from being hunted down by the Romans and gave him shelter. And during that period, that their priest did convert St Albans into the way, the truth and the light, the first Christian conversion. And actually St Albans, as a hero, he wasn't called Saint then. Alban, as he was known then, protected this individual for an extended period, and even swapped cloaks to see that he got arrested so that that gentleman could get away, that priest. And St. Alban was later brought before the king, and despite great torture, refused to renounce his newly found faith. And eventually, as the king relented to the fact that he was never going to renounce it, beheaded him. You are talking about the very first British martyr. The very first British martyr for the Christian value system that came from way back then, the biblical era of the end of the Old and the beginning of the New Testament, with the passing of Jesus. That's right, the first British. And as a result, many believe the blue background with the yellow cross, don't fool it with a Ukrainian flag that you'll see plenty of around here as well. The blue background with the yellow cross, the cross and the flag of St. Alban should in fact be the real colors of England. Think about that, my friends. Think about that. Many went with the red and white. Of course, there was the War of the Roses. The War of the Roses was that from York. Many of you who understand the footballs will know that Leeds United, the Golden Triangle, York, Leeds up north, play in white because they were the White Roses, and they were eventually beaten by the Tudors that took over the Lancashire, which were the Red Roses. So the War of the Roses, two core battles took place in the War of the Roses right here in this town, St. Albans. That's right. You actually didn't know that this little town had so much history. And this led eventually to the merging. The Tudors took over the Lancashires, which was the Red Rose, and eventually defeated the Yorkists. Richard of York gave battle in vain, was how my father taught me to remember the colors of the rainbow. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. Richard of York gave battle in vain. Right up, that's not here by the way, but it was his final battle and the winning and the losing of the great War of the Roses. That was the Civil War for Britain. As Americans, you all know the Civil War, the Deep South versus the North. You know anyway what historians have chosen to tell you about it. Typical English pastime, some footy and cricket there. I don't know if you can see it. Get it in, get it in. Beautiful space here. History and walls. There also, I don't know if this is going to come out. I might have to zoom it. The cathedral top. Let's get it. It's over the rocks. Yeah, it's going to be difficult. Top of the cathedral, there's a blue and yellow flag, the flag of St. Albans, that should, in many people's opinion, rightfully be the flag of the king. So here, in these times of complete totalitarianism, where the leaders of the world are overtaking your rights to freedom of speech, taking away everything, we stand on the ground where the last pushback came, that saw real human rights, real property rights be asserted. What is currently under attack? Your property rights, your human rights. Get the goyim off the land. They will tax you off the land. They will pump the interest rate cycle as per our technical analysis in the market sniper. You will, my friends, you will be squeezed off so that you can own nothing, meaning they own it all, and still be happy with your pharmaceutical insertions, microchips, 5G towers telling you happiness, 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 endorphin dump, endorphin dump. I'm so happy I have to rent this AirPod in some highly crowded urban center and be taken away from the parks, the nature and the beauty of a lovely cathedral town such as this. St. Albans, by the way, I think it's 20% higher property prices. Property, isn't that interesting? 20% higher properties. You see all these stories have an overlapping element to it. Cathedral town, history town, commuter belt to London. Although much less people need to do that nowadays because COVID, work from home. And as a result, property prices where you live become even more important. Less traffic is all good. 20% higher than average. The average St. Albans home at the moment, £625,000. So if you're an American, that's almost $1 million. The average home, by the way. I had a ex-council house semi here that I purchased in around about the year 2000 for £159,000, now worth £560,000. That's an ex-council house, war era, the white PVC windows. Another property I had that I offloaded for about 1.475, now trading at around 2.5 million. Britain does house price inflation like few other places. Small island, they say, they don't make land anymore, they say. Well, especially when you're in the low unemployment world. But, I hear rumors of crime. I hear rumors of all sorts of things. There is an undercurrent of dissent. There is a class that can't get on. Oh, and how the wealthy. How do you buy today a 2.5 million home? Well, if you don't already sell one home and have about a 1 million and a half deposit, you're going to have a lot of money that you borrowed. And guess what? If they pump and let the debt markets to skid, as we are hypothesizing in the Market Sniper, then, my friends, the interest rates spike. We are calling for a global version of the George Soros breaking of the Bank of England in a debt failure where the debt is no longer sought. There is a slight difference. The pressure was on the pound. The pound was put on too high a peg to the Deutsche Mark, which was the governing currency. That was Thatcher's wannabe arrogance to see Britain as greater than it was at the time, after being the sick man of Europe for many years. And as a result, those pegs fail. Many pegs will fail. We've spoken of the Hong Kong dollar peg. The Asian currencies are going to be biggest and worst in trouble starting first. But the euro, when the dollar is weak, you see that euro Swiss franc slip. And when the dollar is strong, you see that euro USD slip. So its time will indeed come. And I'm afraid the pound isn't too much better. It's better for not being in the euro, but it's a matter of minor detail. All fiats will fail. We go to the Roman Empire. What was the great fall of this magnificent empire? Almost 1,000 years in the standing. It got so big, it got unruly. Yes, there are many possible reasons. People can't even accept when it goes, because there was no one thing. In the same way everyone asks, when reset, like they're waiting for one major explosion like 9/11, boom, and it's all over. Now you can't travel without being raped with a finger. No, my friends, it's already happening, and it's been happening for decades. Reset, as it was with the Roman Empire, were many things. Some will say the lead pipes, they went queer in the head. Funny choice of words, that. They went queer in the goddamn head. It was all about vomitariums and sex with your slaves and multiple thises and that. The lead in the pipes, many said. Bad leadership, expanding loss of control due to scale, lack of communication speed, logistics, many other things. There was a barbarian defeat from the Goths around in the German area. Many said that was the beginning of the invincibility, losing, but that still stumbled on for many more years. Then many will refer to Istanbul, a fall and the beginning of the great Islamic, and it was known as the Ottoman Empire, and the fall of Constantinople, today's modern Istanbul. All of these elements of Roman Empire did occur. Debasement of currency. Now there was one you weren't expecting to hear. Debasement of currency. And where are we today, my beautiful friends? As Japan prints more and more fiat to hold their debt at just a 0.2 yield in the name of yield curve control. It sounds like a sensible thing to have yield curve control. It's kind of like sitting on the steering wheel and saying, I'm controlling the direction of my car. It's control. There's nothing wrong with a bit of control. No, it's not. It's manipulation. It's masturbations and manipulations. That's what it is. And it's masturbations and manipulations in broad public in front of the kiddies. That's how bad it is. They are essentially holding up a debt market that should be allowed to fizzle down along with the rest of the world's debt. Guess what? It's not like we have a shortage of it. Supply and demand. Remember that. Economics 101, maybe you do, maybe you don't, but I can actually say that they're printing the money, they're printing the yen. Must keep our aging pensioners still with valuable asset, they say. Keep the price, control that price. And we see JP Morgan, other people in my feed sharing manipulation of the precious metals markets in derivatives, and I'm seeing hundreds of billions under just a single bank, the JP Morg. I like to call them the Morg. They are the final death knell. By the way, for those of you go, who controls Elon Musk? He owns all of Tesla. No, he doesn't. None of them do. JP Morgan died. People were shocked to see he was really a minority shareholder. Everybody put it down to him. He was the front man for a vile banking cartel agenda. He had between 1 or 2% at most in that company. The rest were all held in secret offshore companies. Think of BlackRock, Blackstone, the future owner of your home. That's right. They're going to want a piece of St. Albans, aren't they? They're going to want to turn you into a tenant. You can barely rent a house here for £2,000 a month. Good luck, good luck, good luck when they spike those interest rates and you can't make that payment. Lots of personal financial things everybody should be doing. So those questions again, so that you can join us in our pub meetup on a nice sunny day, shooting the breeze, having some free ale minus the sulfur and contaminants. There's a couple of those here, a bit of cheddar cheese, a bit of sunshine on our dial, keeping the COVID waves far, far back with our rippling vitamin D in our bodies and our amazing immune systems that are uncontaminated with mercury and everything else that any mad scientist as an experiment wanted to test. We refused it all. Come and join us. Come and join us on the 30th of June. That's right. It's this Thursday. We chose Thursday. The weekends will have too much of the general public. We've got an outdoor area reserved. Send us an email at the support at the Market Sniper. Hit the like button while you're doing it. Support at themarketsniper.com. Tell us a little bit about you. We don't want trolls and morons here. Only if you like what you hear, only if you're part of it and you want to meet some community members in person. I am here in the UK. We do not hide. I am real. I am not a bot. I can confirm. I am not a bot. Fuck off, asshole. No, that's not it. That's Terminator. I am not. I will be there. I will be square. I will be round. I'll be shiny domed. And you can meet us all. And you can also meet some of our amazing community members. Get the locale for our St. Albans meetup by sending us a mail where our team will then, after clearing you as a good old sort that is not a fan of totalitarian Bolshevik government and actually wants a safe space, which is what we are working on, hashtag, many hashtags, ask for Francis and he will save you from the attacking transphobes, the attacking homophobes and the attacking overreaching government and everybody else who is attacking you, so that you can reclaim your liberty, your freedom in a beautiful town where the Magna Carta first was conceived. That's right, red, orange, yellow, what was it? Richard of York gave battle in vain. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. The colors of the libertarians. We have hijacked their pride. Thank you so much. Catch you later. Hit a like and a share. We're looking forward to seeing you all. Bye for now.